So I'm continuing from yesterday, my trying to conceive journey, pregnancy number 5. So, what I failed to mention in the other video was that not only did I only see the doctor that accepted my insurance, that was a colleague from my regular doctor, about 4 to 6 times during my pregnancy. That's all I remember. But I had requested in my 7th or 8th month of pregnancy another ultrasound. Not that anything was wrong, but because I didn't see a specialist and I felt like I should have, but I trusted his judgment because this is what he does, not me. Plus, I never had any bad experiences with my doctor's other colleagues in the past. I mean, one of them helped me through a loss, and another one delivered my first, who was an emergency C-section. So I had great experiences with people in that practice. So, but because I was on edge about not having a specialist with my losses, I had asked his PA at my appointment, one of them, if I could have another ultrasound. And I think this is when I started going every 2 weeks to appointments. And she was like, oh, yeah, I understand because, it's getting towards the end and you want to have more pictures. So definitely I'll see what I can do. Never heard anything else. And I know I mentioned it more than once. So then we come to where I left off. It was the weekend. I was having some pain. I figured it was Braxton Hicks. I felt her hiccups, but I didn't feel kicks. I looked it up and it showed that hiccups counted as kicks as well. So I was like, all right, had some orange juice. That Monday didn't really, still felt like hiccups and stuff. So even though what I searched made me feel better, I still wasn't 100%. So when I went to my appointment that Tuesday, I had said, I really don't feel a lot of movement. I feel her hiccups, but I don't feel like actual kicks. So she hooked me up to the machine, which was something I was used to because I was on that machine for my first pregnancy. And that's how we found out that I had to have an emergency C-section. So they put me on the machine. They see a heartbeat, but they do not see movement. So they're like, all right, why don't you go to labor and delivery? They already are expecting you and they'll do more testing. So then I called my husband and my sister-in-law because at the time, the older girls were in school, but my son was home. And I believe my dad was with us at the time. He was staying with us. And I'm like freaking out. And my sister-in-law was like, it's okay, she'll be fine, keep me posted. And my husband's like, listen, I'm going to, I don't know if he was like, I can't remember this. Like, this part is like blank to me. I don't remember if he went to get the girls from school and left them with my dad along with our son and then came to the hospital, or if my sister-in-law picked up the children. I don't know, because I know she would have been at work. So I don't think she picked them up. I think it was close to when they got out of school. So he picked them up, dropped them off with my father, and then came to the hospital. He would remember that. I don't. I just remember being scared, going to the hospital. They had me get in a gown. They put the thing on me and they're like, where was the machine for them to see a heartbeat? And I showed them where it was. They put the machine there. They didn't hear anything. And then they called a guy to come down and do an ultrasound. And he came down and he's doing the ultrasound, and I'm looking at the screen with him, and he's like, you're looking for a heartbeat, right? And I said, yes. And I'm not gonna lie, in that moment, I prayed and I was like, and I know he understands more than anything, but I was like, Lord, I'm not going to lie, I said this. And he knows I said it. If something happens to her, I will not forgive you. And I had never said anything like that before, but I think I was just like fed up. Oh God. Fed up with the losses. I had lost my son. I lost a daughter. And even though they were earlier on, I was like, I had already passed the time frame that you're like terrified, the 12 weeks. I'm like 9 months. I had 3 more weeks to wait before she was supposed to be born. And they didn't say anything to me. My husband shows up and she's like, okay, we'll go, go use the bathroom and we'll and then we'll have you go into a room. I'm like, okay. And I see her say something to my husband. I go to the bathroom. I already know. But I'm like in denial. And I'm going to stop there because I couldn't even make it through that. So I will be back tomorrow. And I don't want to scare people like I always say in my videos. I'm just hoping that my testimony helps people know that certain people are not alone. So I know I'm not alone, and I know that I'm not. And I think even though my grief will be forever, and it comes in waves, I think it kind of helps to talk about it. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll be back tomorrow.